Hey there, Walter here. It is now time to open up the 10th installment of Fan Home Knight Rider build, so let's go ahead and get started opening this up. I'm excited to see what I got in here. I'm expecting a power bank as one of the gifts that Fan Home sends out. So once I take all this paper stuff out of the way, I think that's air cleaner or something, I'm not sure. Another part of that, I don't know what that is actually. We do have another wheel. I hate putting these together, but we'll get it together. At least we got this one and one more. And then some metal parts here, which contain some springs. And I don't see the power bank, so that must be coming in with another issue. It was supposed to be sent with the 10th issue, but I didn't see it on the website. A little disappointing, but we'll get through it. Alright, for issue 35, we have the metal parts that have the springs. So I'm going to get the booklet opened up to get ready for this. It says we're going to install, assemble the rear axle and 2 suspension posts. So let's get this opened up and get started with this. Now they have the springs in a separate bag. Nice. Well, at least getting this suspension done means we'll get this part hooked up into the body. I don't know how this will fit exactly. So I'm looking forward to getting this done. I am not looking forward to getting that wheel assembled though. I hate putting those wheels together. The wheels are difficult for me, although not as difficult as the hoses. I still never put the hoses in place because I have problems with those hoses. Alright, all the parts are out. We are going to take this suspension here, this axle, and I have to find out which piece goes to which. Rear left axle bracket, once I learn how to talk. This has an L on it. I think it's a little difficult to see with the camera, but it doesn't have an L. And I think it goes this way. I think. Yes, it does. I have to hook it up this way. And it gets 2 GM screws, so I have to get my oil out. Here's my GM screws. I'm having a problem opening up the bag today. Huh. There it goes. Okay. Get this screwed in here. cat wants to visit. Hi. Got another GM screw ready. Alright, this bracket is in place. Right here. Now the next one is the right bracket. That will get hooked in place. Oh, let me see. It looks like this way. Looks like it fits on this way. And that's going to get 2 GM screws as well. Now I think on this assembly we're going to be attaching this rear axle to the body. That's good. Here we go. One more GM screw. I had mentioned before about this guy, World of Wayne, that does a lot of these model builds. And I keep forgetting to post his YouTube link for his YouTube channel. I need to do that. But there's the axle brackets. Now it says retrieve the chassis assembly, which we have right here. Insert one of the suspension posts. And it looks like it goes down here. Left rear beam of the chassis, which would be right here. Now this has a little pin right here, and that lines up with a slot right here. So we'll hook that in place. Excuse me. This is going to get an HM screw to hold this in place. So I need to turn this on its side. And insert this HM screw in for this suspension post. There, we have that done. Move. Come on, get down. Okay. Next, we're going to do the same thing with this other suspension post. And that's going to get another HM screw. So I hook that in place. Get my HM screw out. And we're going to get some oil on that. Let's see if I could do this left-handed. I'm a right-handed person, so. So far it's hooking up really good. There is tightening of the nut, or the screw I should say. So that, excuse me, wow. Must need to get a drink soon. Okay, these suspension posts are in place. Now the springs go in place. They go over the suspension posts. Once I get this bag open, this bag does not want to open. I think I'm doing it wrong. There we go. I did it wrong. Alright, the spring fits here, and this spring fits here. Alright, next we're going to take the differential universal joint. I have no idea what that is. It says 31F, but I think that's this whole thing right here. And we're going to... Oh, okay. That's this part right here. This hole. Into the center hole of the differential, which is, I believe, the drive shaft. Align the two holes in the gearbox axle rod with the two holes in the bottom of the differential. When it's properly fitted, attach the gearbox axle rod to the lower part of the differential with two BP screws. Oh, I see how this fits. Okay. I had this upside down. There it goes. Now it fits into place. Although it looks like this is upside down. I don't think it is. But it does not match. I'm going to investigate this. Okay, I did have this piece actually upside down. So, I have put it in the right position. Now I need to fit this back into place where it is supposed to go. Here we go. It just takes a little bit of finesse to get these pieces to fit. I'm having an issue trying to get it to fit exactly. It wasn't that hard to get it out, but getting this back in is a little difficult because of a tab that's on here. So I'll show you my progress when I finish. Okay. I'm just finishing up putting these screws back in place. I do have this in, and it's in the correct position now. So somehow I must have looked at the wrong part of the picture. I must have looked at the wrong orientation. But now this is correct. So I'll put my springs back in place. This will hook up with the differential, or the drive shaft as I call it. And then this gets hooked together with 2 BP screws. Alright, we're making progress here. BP screws means I do not have to use the oil. I'm just screwing that in partially until I can get the other screw in place so I can get the orientation right. I can hear my wife talking on the phone from here. She's loud. Okay. Now that the second screw is in place, I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up. And another cat wants to visit. Alright. These are in place. Now we're going to attach the rear axle to the suspension posts wherever they are. Which, oh, the suspension posts are what the springs are on. Okay. And we're going to use 2 NM screws. I was confused by what they were talking about when they said the suspension posts. So I need to get my oil out again, because NM means metal, so that needs the oil on it. And there's a tension. Alright, that's what I needed. One more NM screw. And here's tension on this one also. Good. And I can actually push down on the suspension. The springs push it right back up, which is, I think, what we need. So next we're going to take this suspension crossbar, and that is going to connect inside here and here. There's a post on this side right here we had attached earlier, and this is the one axle support, I guess. And we are going to use GM screws. It says to fit this with the left side of the rear axle with the GM screw, so we're going to do that first. Here we go, I've got that locked in place here. Tightening it up now. Is there a hole on the inside? I don't think so. Because it seems like this screw goes forever. Okay, I've got tension on that now. And attach the right side with a GM screw. the good thing is, once we finish that up, this suspension is going to be attached to the chassis of the car. There it is. That's in place, and that is assembly number 35. All right. Assembly 36. It says here we're going to mount the shock absorber, suspension control arm, and brake disc on the left side of the rear axle. So meaning we're putting it right here. So let's get all these parts out. And I have no idea how this is going to assemble, but if it was anything like the suspension we just installed, it'll go rather smoothly. Oops, I missed some screws here. Some AP screws. Okay. We got some small plastic pieces. I gotta be careful with those. I have no idea where they go to, but they are small and they are loose. Now I'm pretty confident that these circular parts here are for the disc brake itself. You even have some detailing on it. Alright, let's get started. And we're going to stay right here. And we're going to install this piece right here with this little knob on the end, or this little tab on the end. It's the rear left shock absorber rod. So I need to move this around and install this. And the tab is going to go in this little slot on the chassis, staying in place. Now I'm going to use a BP screw. I'm still in awe of the size of this car. It is huge. And I am also in awe of the complexity. They really went ahead with making an accurate model. And the cat wants to play. The cat can't play with me right now because I am busy. Okay. There's the tension on there. That shock absorber arm or shock absorber rod is in place right here. Next, we're going to insert the rear left shock absorber assembly or body, which is this piece right here, which has a slot in it and a couple of holes. That is going to fit over top of this shock absorber rod we just installed. Okay, align the 3 holes. Oh, we have to insert the curved end of the rear left shock absorber base, which is one of these really small pieces here. This one has a hole in the middle of it, and it will line up with these holes right here for the shock absorber body. Align the 3 holes and fix the part together with a CP screw. Alright. Get out of the way, because this is delicate because I have small parts. Actually, I could take this out and work on it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't want it to get too tight because this shock absorber base has to pivot a bit. But it looks like it pivots at a 90-degree angle. So I have it at a 90-degree angle basically. But I'm still not going to tighten it all the way yet because this attaches. The circular end of the shock absorber base must fit in the hole at the rear left axle support. Which means it fits right here. And we're going to hook that together with a BP screw. So now I need to hook this in place. I need to get better lighting in here. I keep saying it, but I never do anything about it. Okay, that shock absorber is in place. And the suspension will still move with the shock absorber like that. Now we go on to the next page. Attach the left lower suspension arm mount, which is this piece right here. We're going to attach it to the left lower suspension arm, which is this piece right here, with 2 GM screws. I gotta figure out how this goes. Orientation shows it going this way right here. And this way right here. Okay. So it gets attached with 2 GM screws, one on each side. Time for the oil. I can't wait till it's time to work on the chassis. Or not the chassis, the body, I mean. This is the chassis right here. I'm not getting this into the orientation it's supposed to be in. Oops, I don't have it lined up correctly. This is why I say I need better light. I'm probably growing a third arm. I'm still not getting the orientation right. Let me try the other side. I'm just not hitting it. Okay, let me shut this camera off while I get this done, because I have a problem seeing. Okay, it took a while, but I finally got this in. Alright. Now, insert the lower part of the suspension arm mount, which is this angular piece right here, into the hole of the chassis. I think it goes right here. I think. Yes, it does. So the whole thing fits like this. Next, we're going to use 2 GM screws to attach the end of the arm to the rear axle support right over here. So let's see if I can get this lined up correctly, because it was rather difficult. To do the other side, I should say. I'm not hitting it. I'm hitting right above it. I'm going to have to turn this on its side. Let's see if I can get it this way. Whoa, and it wants to move. The entire chassis wants to tilt on me. We can't have that. I think I got it. I'm just going to leave that loose because I have to install the other end in. If I'm correct, which I think I am, there is another hole. And I am correct, there is another hole. So I need another GM screw. And I'm going to try to not spill my oil. So I'm going to move the oil out of the way. I do have it inserted into the holes of that support arm. So I'm going to tighten those up now. you could see it did work because the whole control arm is, or support arm is lifting up. So I did get it. Yay for me. At least that pain in the neck is out of the way. Alright. Now we're going to turn it upside down and use a GM screw to attach the suspension arm mount, which is that angled piece, to the chassis. So another GM screw. Alright. Get that oil. Here we go. And there is tension on there again. Alright. Next it's time for the brakes. Fit the brake oil inlet, which is this other small piece, to the brake disc base, which is this big piece right here. Now this fits in place. Let's see my orientation. Okay, I think I see the orientation now. Okay, I see the orientation. And it gets fitted with an AP screw. So I need to move this chassis out of the way because I need the light. Okay, now I need an AP screw. I know exactly what I'm doing here. It says I hooked a brake line up to this inlet here, but I don't have the brake lines hooked up here because I don't like the hoses. Oops, I missed. I went just on the side of the this brake inlet or whatever they call that. Oh, brake oil inlet, yeah. But I think I got the screw into the hole because it's not falling off. So I must have gotten it correctly. And it says here to hook this up to, or place this over the end of the rear left axle. Okay, get that a little bit oriented just for aesthetics. Wants to twist on me because of the screw. Alright, so now we fit this over this left side here, and there is a slot here in the middle, and it looks to me like it goes, yes, there is a slot on the rear axle, so I need to push this down in. Except it doesn't want to fit. The hole might be just a little bit small. Ah, there it goes. The hole was just the right size. Alright. Next we're going to fit the brake disc over the posts on the brake disc base. Just like that. And that gets 2 DP screws. A lot of work for these rear brakes. But, have this section finished up here. Get away from my oil. The cat wants to play with the oil. So I'm going to just put the lid on that. Okay, 1 DP screw right here. And another DP screw for the other side. And that does it. This part is done, even though it's upside down, and that is assembly number 36. Alright, assembly 37 is for the wheel, the rear left wheel. So basically the same section we were working in on the left rear side. The cat is investigating. I hate putting these wheels together, but we have this one and one more. Get. And then the tires and the wheels and all that stuff will be done. Thank goodness. So let me take all this stuff out here. Alright. Let's get this over with. We are going to insert the rear left wheel into the center of the tire. That's this, going into the tire. And then we're going to go on the other side and we're going to hook the rear left wheel rim with 3 EM screws. Here's my EM screws. Now this is always a pain. This part is the pain. And I remembered about the valve stems that I did with the front tires. I broke those off. The first one was accidental, and then the second one was deliberate. Actually, I think they were both deliberate. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I broke them off because Kit has self-inflating tires. So why have a valve stem? That is my question to ask. Alright. Now I have to orient this, which is always difficult because I have to push down on this as well, and it takes a lot of effort. This is why I always have a problem with this, because I have to push down really hard. Please tell me I got it. I didn't get it. This is really difficult. It's like you have to be really precise and you have to have a lot of strength to get these wheel halves assembled. I'm not hitting it. I am trying really hard, but I am just not hitting it. I'm going to try a third position here, and it looks like it's lined up. Yeah, I lost it. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera so I can get this. This one's really difficult. Okay, I finally got this in the first screw after a bit of hard work and, yes, a bit of swearing. It was difficult. But I finally got one of the screws in, so I'm going to work on the other two. And I'm not getting that one now. I think Fan Home needs to redesign the work with these tires because they are difficult. Okay, I'll stop the camera again. I feel like swearing. Okay, so this is hooked up. It did take a lot of swearing, but it did get hooked up. That was difficult. So next, we're going to take this peanut butter cup shaped piece, and this is the rear left brake drum. Now it gets posted within the post of the outside of 37C and fixed in place with 3 EM screws. Okay, I see where they fit in at. And I do have the orientation of this drum correct. I don't think it matters how the exact orientation is, because there are 5 holes on the inside, which correspond with the 5 holes for the hubcap on the outside. So I think the purpose of this is just to get this brake drum to fit in here, just to sit in place. So we'll get this finished up here. I hate working on the wheels of this. Thank goodness there's only one more to do. And I'm guessing that's going to come in on the next installment, next month. Okay. Next, we're going to take the chassis. Since we're doing the left side, I'll rest it up like this. Rest the rear left wheel on the end of the rear axle. So we'll sit just like that. But before I do that, insert the washer in the center hole of the outside of the wheel. I think this is so the wheel can spin freely. So, we put this wheel on like that. Then this washer goes in place. Make sure I got it fitting down correctly, which it looks like it is. Secure the whole wheel to the rear axle with an OM screw. Alright. And I have tension on here, and the wheel does spin. And yes, there goes the valve stem. There, I broke it off because kit has those self-inflating tires, like I said, so I don't want the valve stem on there. Next, we're going to put the hubcap on. This is going to get 5 AM screws. Once I get these screws out, here we go. They have an aftermarket kit that simulates the actual hubcap nuts, but I am not getting that. I'm trying to keep this as stock as possible. The only thing I would like to modify is the television screens on the dashboard. Get down. Get down. Thank you. I showed that with the dashboard screens to a buddy of mine at work, and he liked it. These modifications for the TV screens for the dash actually imitate KITT's computer functions with the graphics and everything that you see on the show. The cat is playing with the fan home box. I usually let them play with it, even though I'm putting my trash in there right now. Okay, one more AM screw. And here we go. That finishes up this part of the build. Move my stuff out of the way. Now KITT's resting on 3 wheels, and that is the end of stage 37. Alright, stage 38 right here involves mounting the column, the suspension control arm, and brake disc on the right side of the rear axle. So we are going on the other side now. So it's basically the same thing we did with the left axle, except the alternate side. And I realize now I'm going to have a issue with the alignment of that bar, because I did have an issue with that with the left side. So I just have to do the best I can and put it together. And I'm dropping all these parts. And here's those really tiny pieces as well. And then the brakes itself. Okay, so first we're going to take, just like the other one here, we're going to take this shock absorber pad, or shock absorber rod, I should say. Once I learn how to talk, and I have to fit it in this little post here that has a slot, and the cat is in my light. I can't see. Move. Get down. I wonder if it's just me, because this seems like it's a lot more difficult, like there's less room for me to get into here. It must be just me. Okay, that shock absorber rod is in place. And I have to put that in with a BP screw. So I have to turn this over here. Oops. Popped off the screwdriver. Here we go, I have it now. And yay, there's tension. Yay for me. Alright, I can move those brakes out of the way. Now I have to take this piece here, which is the shock absorber body. I have to insert this curved piece for the shock absorber base, and I have to line them up with a CP screw. Still have a lot of extra screws from all the previous assemblies here. Now it said to insert this into the onto the shock absorber rod, but I'm not doing that just yet because I need to get this screwed in place first. And just like with the other side, I need to make sure that the this is at a 90-degree angle, because it fits into the rear suspension bracket, or whatever they call that. So there it goes right there. And then we use a BP screw. To hold the shock absorber base onto the rear right axle bracket. That is a mouthful. Fan Home has done a good job with the detailing. There we go, suspension still moves. Except when it comes to the tires. The tires are a pain. Alright, here's the part I had a problem with. Was getting this aligned correctly. And this gets the GM screws. So, going from practice on the other side, on the left rear side, hopefully we'll get this on the right side without any problems. I still can't wait to start working on the body. The body is going to be such fun. I missed the hole. There it is right there. I got it. They say practice makes perfect. Now I'll get the other side. I did not screw these screws in all the way yet. And this one I missed the hole completely. It's wobbly. Okay, I think I got the hole now. Yes, I did. And it's supposed to rest at an angle. So now I can tighten these screws up. There's tension on that one. And we'll double check this one because the screwdriver slipped out. And there's tension on that one. Okay. Now this piece is assembled. So now to fit it into place, and this will fit in right like this. Now I have to use 2 GM screws and line this part up. don't even have it. Let me get the outside of it first. I think that's the problem. I need to do the outside of it. I better get some oil on that again. I did put some oil on there, but I think I lost it. Okay, I do have this in. So I need another GM screw. Where did I put my GM screws at? Oh, they were right here the whole time. Oh, I'm losing it. I'm starting to get tension. Whoops! As I was saying, I'm starting to get tension on this screw. You did not see me drop the screwdriver. Actually, you did. Tighten that up. Marvelous. Now I have to turn this over and insert another screw in here for this base piece right here, which is a lower suspension arm mount. And that takes a GM screw again. Almost done with this assembly. Almost. All right. Why am I not getting any tension? I should be getting tension. For some reason, it did not go in. The screw did not go in. Unless I have the wrong hole. Let me see here. Nope, that's the correct hole. But the screw is not biting into anything at all. I don't understand it. The screw is supposed to be going in and hooking onto this, but yet it's not. I think Fan-Home made a mistake on this because this is not getting in there. Let me shut this camera off and see if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong here. Okay, I did get it to work. It was hitting the edge of the hole on this mount. So I do have that fixed now. So let's turn the chassis right that way. Now, just like the other one, we need to put this inlet, this brake oil inlet into the brake disc base. And this will get a, oh, I lost that piece there. There it is right there. This gets an AP screw. So let's see if I can get this orientation done, just like the last one. And I have it. And like before, I am not going to hook this up to the brake line because I don't have the brake lines hooked up. Alright, get that oriented just for aesthetics. Fit the brake oil inlet to the brake disc base with an AP screw. I already did that. Push the brake disc brace onto the right end of the rear axle. Okay, let's flip this over. This might be another tight fit. Yes, it is. Ah, there it is. I hurt my finger also. Okay. Next, we're going to fit the brake disc onto here, onto the brake disc base. We're going to use 2 DP screws. I'm going to close up my oil. I'm afraid I'm going to spill it. Here we go. Almost finished with this assembly anyway. Alright, here's 1 DP screw. And here is the other DP screw. There's tension. There we go. That finishes assembly number 38. Okay, so this is what the build looks like right now. It is getting there, and it is still huge. And I had shown it before about the progress that I'm making with the build. So here's the current progress that I'm at right now. And you can see it looks like I'm about a third of the way done, because there's about 110 assemblies in this. I can't see the exact picture exactly right now, but yeah, I'm getting pretty far on that, so I'm really excited about it. And I had also mentioned before, there is a YouTube builder called World of Wayne. I suggest you check out his channel. He does really good. He's doing the Knight Rider build. He's doing R2-D2 and Iron Man, and he's got a bunch of other kits that he's building together, and he does really, really good at it. So I suggest you check it out. I'm going to put the link down at the bottom here. And as usual, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave all your questions and comments down below, and as always, make sure the questions and comments are rated E for everybody. So until the next time we work on this, I'll just go ahead and say 7-3.